Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back again. I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done all season long, actually, and that's give you guys a final thoughts video. Not a final look video because I'm still not set. I don't think anybody can be set based on this week, based on we're going to get all these inactive news at 11:30 a.m. My biggest tip to you guys is sit at your laptops and make sure that you're ready, or sit at your phones if you're at some family occasion and go in the bathroom and make sure that you get this ready, because at 11:30 there's going to be some twists and turns that we either expected that are going to make it more solidified, starting other guys, or things that we don't expect, right? So make sure that you're ready for those. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. My name is Sal. We just recently crushed through 1,000 subscribers, became a YouTube partner in about 2 months. So thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all the people who have been viewing. And I have a new goal now. And I mean, that goal is 10K, right? That's a big goal. But I wanted to get, a little something on my tongue there. I wanted to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of next week, and that's a huge goal, right? But I mean, we've gotten 300 subscribers in about 2 or 3 days. So if you can just hit that subscribe button, if you could like this video, push us up the rankings a little bit more. This video is only going to be out for about a day since it is Saturday. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. If you're watching this, if you could hit the subscribe button, if it's to bring you any type of content at all. You could also download for more value down below and jump into our Facebook group down below, and you can also download a free guide to setting yourself apart and being more by being more contrarian, setting yourself up to win more. That's also down below. So all that, check out the description. There's a lot more stuff down there for you guys, just value-wise, discounts, whatever you want to check out. But I just want to let you guys know basically where my head's at right now. And the Facebook group has been great. We've been kind of just getting each other's thoughts. And the biggest thing that I'll point to, and let me actually get to this. So I'm going to get to my blog where I made a post yesterday. The biggest thing that I'll point to is Saquon Barkley, right? So Saquon Barkley, I mean, I've listened to about, I usually listen to about 3 different podcasts a week: the Daily Fantasy Edge, the Fantasy Flex by the Action Network, both of the Daily Fantasy Edge podcasts, Fantasy Flex, and then Pat Mayo Experience. There's probably other ones out there. Drop them below if you listen to other ones out there. I just don't right now. So that's about 3, maybe 4 on some weeks. I'll find a random one. And nobody's really been talking about Saquon Barkley, right? I think the Fantasy Flex mentioned him at the end briefly. And I'm just not quite sure why that is. So I wrote this article pretty much yesterday because it was just on my mind. And what this article is, all it is talking about is how Saquon Barkley is one of the only guys at the top end who you could feel safe about, right? Todd Gurley's ruled out. Alvin Kamara's probably not going to play. Sean Payton's already saying that these guys probably aren't going to play their starters based on people getting injured a couple years back when they had the opportunity to sit players because they clinched up everything, couldn't move their position. We don't really know what Melvin Gordon's going to look like. Like, if the Chargers are in a spot where they've already locked up their positioning by the 4 o'clock games, what's the point of even playing Melvin Gordon in a game like that, especially since he's had these hamstrings injuries lingering, things like that. I don't even know if he'll be active come game time, which is sketchy. Zeke, I don't think any of the Cowboys are going to be playing past the first quarter, and honestly, why even risk it that far? What's the goal there? And Jason Garrett, Jason Garrett says that they're playing their starters because they lost in the playoffs to the Packers. And let's just get this straight. 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers threw a dime to Jared Cook on the sideline. Mason Crosby kicks a 58-yard field goal to win the game, or whatever it was, to tie the game, 50-something yards to win it. Shout out Green Bay, my guys. But you think Aaron Rodgers throwing a dime to Jared Cook, you think the reason you lost was because you sat your starters in week 17? That's not why you lost. It has nothing to do with it. If Jason Garrett believes that, he's a crazy person. But I do think they're going to pull their players. Christian McCaffrey, he's too high priced, honestly, based on this slate, and we really don't know what's going to happen. He could be a total contrarian play. I'm just not on him right now. I think Saquon's the safest guy. I think he's at a reasonable price. I think Cowboys are going to sit some of their defenders, so he's going to get a lot of run. And Baker Mayfield's breathing down his neck for Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Giants have to justify picking a running back at number 2 overall when they desperately needed a quarterback and still need one. Now Eli's not the answer, and if he is, you're going to waste another season. And they have to justify that somehow. Winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, it doesn't fully justify it, but it definitely helps their case, right? And if he doesn't win it, it's going to hurt their case. He wasn't even the best rookie pick. The quarterback was. Yes, they couldn't have gotten Baker because he was 1, but still. So that's just my take right now, and it's doing something like this. So I'll show you guys some of these lineups that I've just been building in a second a little bit. But I just want to show you what a build looks like. So I think that Saquon, if you get him in there, again, this is a guy who's put up 30 and a half, I think, 3 times this year. This is a guy that he can drop 40 points this week, lock up Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like I say this in my article, 40 points, lock up Offensive Rookie of the Year, and all of your lineups float to the bottom, and you hold hands to the bottom, because I'll tell you right now, this is what everybody's going to be doing. And they're probably going to be trying to do it in tournaments as well, because I do think this is a good week to eat a ton of chalk, because you can get up to those big chalky guys, and the guys lower are chalky. But in the same sense, there's a lot of running backs you can choose from in that value range, as well as wide receivers, to be honest with you. So it might be evenly distributed, but I do think this is a big week for chalk, especially because Mahomes and Kelsey. I haven't looked at the stack numbers yet. I'm going to check out Roto Grinders, what they're projecting this stack to be. But I'd imagine this is the week where we're going to see the highest ownership on a quarterback. Mahomes potentially 25%, maybe he touches 30%. Kelsey potentially 40%. And that stack, if that's the percentages that we're going to be seeing, you're going to have to believe every time, majority of the times people have Mahomes, they're going to have Kelsey. That stack might be upwards of 15 to 20% owned, and that's insane if you think about it. There's merit in fading that stack. I don't think that's the sharp move, right? We have the Chiefs playing for a position here, a bye that is, and against a terrible Oakland defense. And we know Patrick Mahomes is still wanting to kind of show out for the MVP race. We know Travis Kelsey is chasing a record, and all these things actually matter. Patrick Mahomes has a chance at getting to 50 touchdown passes on the season. All these things are possible. So if we just look at his 2018-2015 season, he needs 2 touchdown passes for 50. All these different things, right? Can possibly break touchdown record if he goes absolutely berserk. So yeah, I don't think there's merit in fading them this week, although I probably will have lineups with ways to be a little bit more contrarian, such as a naked Mahomes or maybe a naked Kelsey, things like that, because they're going to be stacked in a lot of situations. I just don't know that's the spot I want to take my stand. But let's just show a lineup. So we get Saquon here. We can put him in our running back spot. So you have a pretty solid foundation, right? Now let's go all the way down here. And I'm just looking, 2,100, I do like the Giants, and basically, I don't like their defense in general, but they're at home. They're going to be a home favorite. Again, that's another big boost for Saquon. And they're like a 6-point home favorite. It's bet down to 5, and that's because nobody's expecting the Cowboys to play. So if you think the Cowboys are going to play, go print your money and bet on that game, right? And maybe play Zeke. But I don't see them playing. I don't see them playing the whole game. So I do like Cooper Rush coming in. I do like Rod Smith coming in. And how is that Dallas offense really going to move the ball? I'm not really sure they are. And the Cowboys at home last game, playing for pride, things like that. Playing for Saquon's Rookie of the Year. I like the Giants' defense at 2,100. I think it's so underpriced. I was looking yesterday. It hit me like in the face. Like, oh, if the Cowboys rest their guys, I want Giants D. I thought it was going to be in the 26, 25 range because of that. I mean, right? You would think DraftKings would adjust it if the betting community adjusted it, right? If Vegas adjusted it to be -6, they believe all those backups are going to be in. They didn't. So this is kind of a standard build I'm going with right now, right? I mean, it's hard for me to get off Mahomes and Kelsey in a lot of my lineups. I don't know what my exposure is going to be. I'm going to probably enter, 10 lineups this weekend, maybe 15 lineups, depending on which ones I enter. I'm not even sure I'm going to enter the Millie, the lottery system. But I'm going to be entering some lineups, and if I have 10 lineups, I really do think Mahomes, Kelsey stack is going to be, 6, 7 of them. I'm going to massively outweigh the field there. We got word that Spencer Ware this is another one that I haven't thought about too much, but Spencer Ware being questionable, that's something you have to monitor right up to kickoff. I'm going to have to be monitoring that. I'm going to be on a flight and things like that. I'm going to have to pay for the Wi-Fi, but you have to monitor Spencer Ware coming up to kickoff, because if he doesn't play, Damian Williams is in a smash spot. They just signed the guy to a 2-year deal. They like him. He can catch the ball. He's probably more efficient and better than a guy like Kareem Hunt and Spencer Ware. He looks incredible just off of a small 3-game sample size. But yeah, he's in a smash spot. I'm not going to put him in here. But yeah. A couple other things at running back that have just been on my mind. The one is this guy right here, right? So somebody in the Facebook group actually brought him up a couple days ago, and I kind of just like pushed it aside. I mentioned it, but I was like, hey, this week, this is a little too thin for me. Like, I'd rather take more expectation. And I think that was a fair take at the time. But now as the week goes on, it's pretty evident that Kamara's probably not going to play, and if Ingram plays at all, it might be, 1 to 2 series. Now, yes, Teddy Bridgewater's going to be in the game. There's going to be all backups in the game, so how much is Washington really going to be able to move the ball? But Carolina's been on the record for saying that they're going to be resting some players, most likely on the defensive side as well. So that helps Washington, right? That's a plus for Washington. I mean, he's at home, so that helps, especially for younger guys who don't have experience. He's a huge back, right? He just doesn't get a lot of work because Kamara's a change of pace guy. Ingram, he gets these short down usage, but he's a big, fast back. Like, he had good intangibles coming out of college, good tangibles. So Washington's a good play mainly because of his price, right? So if you want to plug him in here at his price, and we do get worried that Kamara is inactive before the game, and if Ingram's inactive, I think you have to slot him in there just because he's $3,000, right? And it lets you get up in so many different places, and I don't know if he'll be that highly owned. I don't even know if a lot of people know him. The casual guys that don't watch these types of videos, the casual girls who don't put the effort in for these types of things and are just burning their money every week, which we probably are too, but one of these times it'll hit. Washington's a good play at $3,000 if those guys aren't in and Carolina's resting defensive players. Because what does he have to get you? He has to get you a touchdown. He's a big body back who's been getting goal line, or not goal line, but like short down usage. He can get all the goal line work. He should be the guy getting all the work. Like I'm saying, 18 to 22 touches in this game, in a game where the Saints are a team that run the ball anyways. Yeah, they're going to want to see Teddy Bridgewater get some action. And if Teddy Bridgewater's running around, I think that helps Washington even more. So that's one spot. The last spot, and I don't know if this, like, I'm just putting guys in. This isn't me building a lineup. I'm not trying to give you guys a lineup. Like, I don't even have my final cash game lineup. Like I said, 11:30 tomorrow, everything's going to change. If Spencer Ware's out, Damian Williams is going to be a bigger priority for me. If Kamara's out, Washington's going to be a bigger priority. If it says Ingram's playing, I might hold back on Washington. I don't think Ingram's going to be playing that much. But again, if he's playing the first half and Washington doesn't touch the ball for a half, that's not somebody I want to have in my lineups. Next guy is James Conner. He's somebody that I like in the first look lineup. I like him a ton more as the week goes on. I don't think he's getting as much love as he deserves, similar to Saquon. Look, the play here, every time the play has been to go down to the value running backs, it's kind of blown up in a lot of people's faces, right? It's blown up in my face, and I'm kind of tired of these value running back plays. So I kind of been reanalyzing the game this year, and I want to play better running backs when everybody else is going down. I want to play those more secure guys. Now this week there's a ton of value at running back that you can fit in 20 to 25 touches, or 18 to 23 touches below 6K or at 6K, because I think Jamal Williams is at 6K. I don't know, I would say at like 5 to 6 spots, potentially even more if we get some more news. So yeah, I do think there's way more merit this week, and that's because it's week 17 and there's players resting and all those types of things, people banged up and all that. So I want to go away from that though. Like, I already know chalk is Mahomes and Kelsey, so how can I get differentiated? Paying up at running back is contrarian. You're telling me starting Saquon Barkley and James Conner in the same lineup is going to be a contrarian build? Yes, it is, because everybody's going to be having 2 mid-range to low-range running backs, if not 3, and going to the sky at wide receiver, which is smart because there's a ton of wide receivers I want to play this week. I won't be able to get up to them with this type of lineup construction, but if it works out, not a lot of people are going to have this lineup construction. I'm going to pass a lot of people based on James Conner getting points and other things like that. So James Conner, 7,500, I think he's too cheap. Look, he's a Pro Bowler. He's a guy who literally is having a more efficient per touch season, more efficiency rating overall than Le'Veon Bell has in, I think, almost all the seasons, if not all the seasons with the Steelers. If you're telling me that this was Le'Veon Bell's name and he was out and now he's back and they're in a must-win game, the Steelers, at home against an awful bottom 5 Bengals DVOA team against the run, against pass-catching running backs, especially bottom 3, Le'Veon Bell will be playing. James Conner's going to be playing. He's having that good of a season. Again, he's a Pro Bowler. Samuels did good in a few spot starts. He might get rotated in every 4 or 5 series, but I'm fine with that because I think this is a situation where we see Conner's early work usage. Last time Conner exploded, it was against the Bengals, and he went for like 37 points, a 2-tutty game. I think this is a game where we see 18 to 25 touches, and that's a wide range, so 20 to 25 touches. And he's going to see 6-7 targets in the air, catch 5 balls, get all the goal line work. Samuels might come in 1 every 5 series, so I think Conner is going to be underappreciated. I think the question mark by his name is going to throw a lot of people off. He is questionable, but he's been practicing in full or more limited to full all week long, so I'm fine with Conner there. One quick thing, guys, I updated them a little bit yesterday. I have my watch player pool. This is Draft Dashboard. 30 days for $1 right below. I don't own the company or anything like that. I'm just an affiliate for it. I've been using the product. And honestly, the deal is the reason I got triggered by the product. 30 days for $1. It cuts down on research time. You can use player projections. You can optimize lineups. So I have these 33 guys in a player pool. So if I click Lineup Optimizer, and if you want to see those 33 guys, and they're going to change a little bit, hopefully, I might be able to get them up to the minute on Sunday since I'll be on a plane and I'll have all the news there. But if it's really hectic, I don't know if I'll get around to it. But those are the 33 guys right now I'm trying to build my lineups around, and it'll generate lineups. So, and you can lock certain players in. So if you wanted to play Mahomes in 100% of your lineups, you could lock him in. If you didn't want to, you could click this lock button. You can set a rank and things like that. You can mass generate lineups if you go right here. It's a pretty cool tool. So you can see this is like some of the guys in my player pool right now. So yeah, definitely cool. Check it out below. 30 days for $1. Also check out the Facebook group below. I know I've already mentioned that, but I mentioned it again. If you're watching this far, you clearly are liking the video. You're clearly enjoying the content. Get in the Facebook group. Already in the first week, there's like 50 people in there, and we're just talking strategy. We're just talking our thoughts and giving each other information. It's just like a hub of information right now. Like, I'm feeding off of it. That's how I got the idea. Why is no one talking about Saquon right now? I mean, if we wanted to finish out this lineup, again, not a final lineup, but just where my head is at this week, getting 2 min-priced players in the same lineup is ridiculous, right? Like, we don't have that type of opportunity often. And I think we have that opportunity here with Kumaro, the Packers. He had a huge preseason. He caught a bomb last week. Rodgers loves this kid. Cobb's going to be out. It looks like St. Brown's going to be out. And he ran more snaps than St. Brown last week at 47 snaps, like St. Brown's 35. St. Brown just had more yardage. Now Kumaro's going to be on the field as 3 wide receiver sets like Green Bay runs all the time. You know that Rodgers likes him. Valdez-Scantling also becomes an interesting play, but I would go Scantling over Kumaro if the price was a little cheaper, right? If he was at $3,500, yeah. But Scantling had 9 targets last week. When he gets into the slot, he's dangerous. We saw that come alive last week. So it's really, if you want to pick between these guys, it's which one you want more because they're not that farly priced off. Scantling's going to be the guy that has the least ownership. Everybody's going to be on Adams, of course. Everybody's also going to be on Kumaro. Not everybody, but a good amount because of that min price. But if you want a decent play at $3,900, you can get to Scantling here. So let's see something else. So like Adams is at where everybody's going, right? And we can't get up to him in this type of lineup. I mean, you could, and you can go down here, and you can make yourself really stretched thin at receiver, right? You can play all 3 Packers receivers. So this is where I'm struggling at this point, right? I'm building this lineup. I really like the Mahomes and Kelsey stack. I would love Saquon Barkley in this situation. I want to outweigh the field on him as of right now. I like getting to Connor, and then the mid-price running back helps, the mid-price wide receiver helps, and then you can get all the way down to basically mid-price at defense with the Giants. And a lineup like this is a pretty good build, but you're at $5,900 left and you're not getting up, and that's what you suffer. You're going to be contrarian by not getting up at wide receiver. You're going to be contrarian by playing these 2 higher-end running backs who have been successful all year. Like, I want to play Devontae Adams this week at that 8,000 mark with other names around him like Juju at 8,300, with Tyreek Hill, who's another guy this week on my final thoughts that I want to mention, who I'm going to have a good amount of exposure to. He's going to be the guy left behind because everybody playing Mahomes is going to want to play Kelsey. And if Ware is out, everybody's going to want to play Damian Williams and run it back with a Jordy Nelson, right? Like, is that your idea? I know that's where everybody's going. Tyreek Hill, last time against Oakland, 1 catch for 13 yards, absolutely stunk the bed, but he's had basically 4 or 5 games this year where he's absolutely broken the slate, and if you don't have him, you don't win. This can be that week against an Oakland secondary that, yeah, they take away the number 1 wide receiver, but none of those number 1 wide receivers are utilized as much as Tyreek Hill, right? In the return game, Tyreek Hill, in the backfield, end arounds, in the slot, just torching guys on the outside. Nobody can guard this guy. So that would be the place that I would go. And we can probably get down there if we wanted to. I mean, you can take out a guy like Connor out of your flex. Right now, the lineup's looking like Mahomes, Travis Kelce for the guys on the audio version. Travis Kelce, check out the podcast if you haven't. If you're watching this on video, check out the podcast. Download it. It's uploading to like all different podcast platforms right now. Hopefully, you get a chance to check it out. But Mahomes and Kelce stack with Saquon and James Conner, Dwayne Washington as well. Then you got Kumaro, so you got 2 min-price guys. Giants defense. Now we have $5,950 left on average for 2 positions. Can't get up at wide receiver, although I'd love to. But I'll talk about ways that we can get around that. But just, yeah, real quickly, I mean, I love Edelman this week, 7,600. Again, another spot we're not going to be able to get up. His red zone usage is insane, but he's another guy that I'm going to have a decent exposure to. So this is a spot that I'm going to make. I'm going to take the chalky Kenny Golladay, right? So at 6,600, it allows us to take Golladay, and we have 5,300 left to spend. Nobody on Green Bay can guard him. Obviously, he's questionable, so watch that. Not sure if they're going to want to push him out there into this type of a game that doesn't matter, but if he is out there, expect double-digit targets out of this guy, expect red zone work out of this guy, expect nobody to be able to guard him. Jair Alexander for the Packers, their best secondary player, he's out. So that's another spot that I'm looking at. That's another spot, final thoughts-wise, that I have a lot of interest in, right? And then, I mean, ideally, at 5,300, we don't have enough to get to Alshon Jeffrey, but Alshon Jeffrey's a guy I like a ton, and this is a spot where I'm going to try and get to Alshon Jeffrey, right? You're $400 over the limit if you play this type of lineup. Jeffrey going up against Washington, Swearinger's now on the Cardinals. Hoglandix is terrible. Josh Norman's not the same version of himself. They just got eliminated last week, so motivation level, as opposed to a team that got eliminated 3 or 4 weeks ago and it's set in, and now they're just playing basically for fun and pride. Washington got eliminated last week. It's been a pretty disappointing season since Alex Smith got hurt. You could just see them packing the bus here, and the Eagles have to win. Jeffrey was supposed to blow up last week. He came out for a little while after an injury. I think this is a big bounce-back week for him. So if we play this lineup, we have Mahomes, Saquon, Dwayne Washington, Kumaro, Golladay, Jeffrey, Kelce, Connor, Giants D. This is a lineup where I feel confident in most guys being able to reach 20 points tournament-wise. I think Kumaro is probably the most thin player, but I also think if he's on the field for, I don't know, 70% of the Packers' offensive plays with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback with the deep threat ability, he needs one play, right? He needs one 50-yard touchdown, and then he needs a couple other catches, and he's there, right? And that's happened. That's happened often. He shouldn't see Slay. Adams should see Slay. So in this lineup, we're fading Adams, who's going to be highly owned. And we're being a little bit contrarian. Now, we were $400 over if you play something like this. And I think a big pivot play is to take out Kelsey and go right down to Kittle, who's also chasing a record, who's also on record this week saying that they want to get that record, whether it's him or his coach. Now it leaves you $500 left. I'm a big proponent of leaving money on the table. On this slate, we might be able to get something else, but I'm really fine. I want Jeffrey in that 6 or below 6K range. I want Galladay in that 6,600 range. I want Mahomes. And this is a lineup that I don't think many people are going to play. Maybe they'll play it now since I'm showing you it. I don't even know if I'm going to play it, right? We need to see 11:30. That's the final thing that we need to see about are inactives out. Like, is Alvin Kamara not playing and Mark Ingram? Yes, slot in Washington. Things like that. Obviously, a lot of other things also. Make sure James Conner and Kenny Galladay are playing, all these different things. There's going to be the biggest news of the week, so you have to be there. You have to be ready. These are just some of my final thoughts, guys. Just let you know where my head's at in terms of the players I'm trying to get into my lineups. I would say that Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill are people in this little mock lineup that I've built here. And this mock lineup for the audio listeners is Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Dwayne Washington, Kumaro on the Packers, Kenny Galladay, Alshon Jeffrey, George Kittle, James Conner, and the Giants. So we got away from the stack with Kelsey, which is contrarian. We're not playing Adams, which is contrarian, and we're paying up at running back, which is totally contrarian. This lineup is off the board, right? It's not where a lot of people are going this week. A naked quarterback is always going to give you a differentiated lineup. We have that with Mahomes here. Obviously, I want to get Kelsey in this lineup, and I'm going to try to and just find value elsewhere, possibly coming off of James Conner, although I don't want to. But we will see where we can get to. We do get George Kittle, who's in a big positive situation, and I'm leaving $500 on the table, which on this week, if you leave $500 on the table, I think you're going to be in the 5% or less of lineups that are actually doing that. So again, totally differentiated yourself right there. But yeah, this is where I'm looking. Guys that are still on my mind, trying to get in lineups: Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, potentially Juju Smith-Schuster. Some other guys at wide receiver. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to mess around with some stuff. I will say that if Jameis Winston is playing, that Chris Godwin at 4,300 becomes a bigger priority for me. Potentially getting up from Kumaro to Godwin against the Falcons at home in a situation where he's going to have nobody against him. He's going to have nobody on him based on how he's burned people in the past. But Deshaun Jackson being out now, not even wanting to be there, definitely is a big factor. Don't know how we would fit him in, but we definitely could. Another thing on my mind at quarterback for the lineups that I'm not going to be playing, Patrick Mahomes in. I have heavy conviction for Derek Carr that bit me in the butt about 2 weeks ago. Made an Instagram post about it, so I'm on the record. But yeah, big conviction for Derek Carr, and I'm fine playing him naked. Jordy Nelson's probably the way to go there. Then you get to run it back with a guy like Tyreek and be totally contrarian, or bring it back with Kelsey and Tyreek. But you can fit it because you went down in quarterback, saving $2,000 off of Patrick Mahomes, which is a ton, right? Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned Larry Fitzgerald. Final thoughts, he's still in there, but I haven't made a lineup with him yet. I just like that final game potential narrative. He hasn't announced it, but it seems like that's the way it's going to go. Tight end, I'm really just sticking on to Kittle and Kelsey. I do think Ertz is going to be severely under-owned in a game where the Eagles have to win, and he's going to probably have another huge game, right? I don't see how he doesn't get 10 targets. I don't see how he doesn't have good red zone usage. It's going to happen, right? Just a matter of if you really want to come off of Kelsey and not go down to Ertz, I think, or not go down to Kittle. I think Ertz's ownership is going to be extremely low. My little alarm there. But yeah, I mean, those are the final thoughts right now. These are the types of lineups I'm building. It's a little scary playing two min-price guys, but if all the things break our way, the Cobb sitting, all the Packers receivers sitting, the Saints running back sitting, I think this is a decent lineup build. It has the potential for every player to go for, on average, 20. And I say on average because a guy like Saquon can drop 40, and then a guy like Washington just has to get you 15 points, right? And you can get there. So yeah, this is just final thoughts, not a final lineup, not a locked lineup at all. Make sure to check out the description below. If you're still in this, hit up the Facebook group, download that free PDF, and check out Draft Dashboard for $1 for 30 days. If you're still watching, subscribe. Please subscribe. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the week. That's the big goal right there. And yeah, we're doing big things, guys. So best of luck this weekend. Hopefully this video gets out in time for you to see it. Probably a little bit of day on the shelf life, so make sure to like it. All right, peace.